Hey group leaders, it's Pastor Kyle. I just wanted to check in with you once again here at the Group Leader newsletter to see how you're doing and how I can encourage you during this summertime. So I'm here in the boardroom today. There's lots of great lighting that's here in these wonderful windows. And I just wanted to say, if you want to connect with me and I want to hear how you're doing, feel free to either give me a text message or give me a call at 607-590-7582. It's my cell phone number. You're welcome to get a hold of me at that point, and I'd love to chat with you, see how you're doing, and see how I can pray for you. You can also, of course, send me an email at kyle.roberts@cwc.life to let me know how you're doing today. So one thing that I want to let you know of is Group Leader Launch. That's coming up on August 7th. That's going to be coming up here very soon. So make sure to go to the link here in the Group Leader newsletter and register for that event. We're going to be gathering together for a potluck together. So bring one of your favorite meals that you like to share with other people. Bring a dessert, bring a side, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. For this Group Leader Launch, we're going to be going over the advertising that happens throughout August and some other months of the year. And then we're also going to be talking about how to utilize some of the tools that are available to you, such as Right Now Media and Church Center being the big ones. So make sure to sign up for that event at the link below. August 7th after second service in the Youth Center. So looking forward to hearing that, and you'll also get to hear about our vision for groups over the next year to really have a good launch coming up this September. So my monthly leading tip for you this month is, how can we create a culture of invitation in the midst of our groups? We live in a world that is incredibly lonely right now. There's so many people that I talk to who just feel like they're alone even in the midst of their circumstances, whether it's at home, whether it is at work. There's just so much loneliness that is present. So one of the best ways that we can help to combat that spirit of loneliness and to help give people purpose is by inviting them to come to our groups, is by inviting them to take part in what we're studying, take part in how we're building our relationships with one another. And it's just so important for us to have that culture of invitation, that if you meet somebody new here at the church, that you can go to them and say, hey, are you a part of a group here yet? Why not come and join us here? And we know that that's one of the most important things that we can do here in the church. But how do we create that culture of invitation? And what might stop us from inviting people to our groups? I think one of the things is size. If you have a large group, I know for our own young adult group, it's getting pretty big. So one of the things that you may need to talk about as a small group, if you feel like you can't invite anybody, that's something that may be worth talking about. What would it look like to multiply our group? What would it look like to take the things that we do, such as leading, facilitating, or hosting, and being able to pass that on to other group members for the purpose of creating this space to invite? I know that can be a little scary, but one of the huge blessings that happened to our small group as young adults, we had 17 people that were a part of our small group last year. And this is our 1-year anniversary of multiplying, and both of those groups have doubled in size since we made that decision. And there are people in your group who want to continue to experience that level of connection and who will step up, even if it seems like they may not at that point. So if you are looking at multiplying, feel free to connect with me. I'm happy to help you through that process, ultimately, so that more people can become more and better disciples of Jesus. Another thing that may prevent us from inviting people is rejection. So the first one is size. The second one is the fear of rejection, mainly. Somebody may say, you know what? No, I think I'm okay. And that's something that may be difficult to hear, but I don't think that that's something personal against you. For some people, a lot of people that I run into nowadays are just busy. But our job as group leaders, and my job as a spiritual formation pastor, is to help people understand the importance of being in a group. That it's not necessarily an add-on to your spiritual life, but a vital part of what it means to love others, To love God and to love others in the midst of a group is a necessity. And I think one of the reasons why we feel so lonely is we think of that as a want rather than a need. And we need to be a part of a group. So that rejection may come, and sometimes even after explaining the importance of a group and that kind of thing, they may still say no. But there will be the person who you ask who never will have thought about it in their life and will be so excited and honored to hear you inviting them to your group. And it makes a world of a difference. That word of mouth invitation creates the space for them to be able to connect and lets them know we care about you. We care about where you are and how you can come alongside of us in the midst of this. The last one, I've already mentioned it a little bit, is busyness. Are we too busy to invite people to our small group? And that's something where we have to ask in our hearts, are we so busy that we can't invite others to partake in learning what it means to be a disciple of Jesus? And that's one of the things that we have to ask ourselves. Am I too busy? I know for me, I had to ask myself over the past few months. When I went on vacation to Alaska, one of the things that I asked myself was, how busy am I? And I realized I only had maybe one night of the week that I was actually home, that I had the ability to be there for others. So as a pastor, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm honing away some of the things that were some of those wants, some of the things that were okay, they weren't necessarily wrong, but I was doing so many of them that if something came up where a friend of mine was having a difficult situation at home, or if a congregant needed somebody to visit or to call them, I wouldn't have the time to do so. And that was a problem for me. So in that sense of busyness, do we not have space to be able to connect with others? Do we not have space to be able to invite others? And that's something that you can ask yourself and say, maybe there's some things that need to be taken away so that I can have that openness for other people, that I can have that openness to invest in those relationships. And one of the best ways that you can do that is seeking out, do you go out to lunch with one of your group members every week? You can pack your lunch, you can go out somewhere for lunch, but having that conversation and that connection is something that's really important and can open up that culture of invitation to others as well. So those are the three things that may stop us from inviting, but we can see clear examples in Scripture of both Jesus and Paul engaging in this culture of invitation as well. Jesus says, "Come and follow me and I will make you fishers of men," in Matthew 4:19. And that's one of the things he was inviting the soon-to-be disciples to join him. Even though they had no skills, they had no confidence necessarily in their faith journey, but they knew this rabbi was somebody who could teach them what it meant to be fishers of men, who could teach them something so much larger in the midst of their context and to become full-blown followers of Jesus. That invitation that we give to other people may be that step for them in the right direction. So I encourage you to take part in that. Paul says, "Imitate me as I imitate Christ," in 1 Corinthians 11, verse 1. And what else are small groups existing for? Imitate me as I imitate Christ. We're all trying to figure out how we can best follow Christ and follow his word. And the best way that we can do that is with others in the midst of a group. So I highly encourage you to take those verses to heart, to take that culture of invitation to heart. We're going to be having that culture of invitation all throughout the month of August. So I highly encourage you, if you or somebody else in your group are looking to grow, are looking to invite those lonely people in the midst of your group, then here are some of the things you can look for that may be stopping you. And I'm here alongside of you the whole way too, to help you as you continue to grow, as you continue to multiply, and ultimately bring more people to a saving knowledge of Jesus and make them a living sacrifice that's on fire for Jesus at the same time. I hope you're doing well. Once again, if you want to connect with me, you can do so either at my cell phone number or you can do so at kyle.roberts@cwc.life. I look forward to hearing from you soon, and I hope you have a great August.